Okay, here's some more information about the 2020-2021 6.6 liter that comes in the Silverado 2500 HD or the Sierra 2500 HD. And there's a lot of stuff going around on the internet asking questions about is it AFM or DFM controlled? And I have the answer here. No, it's not. It's not active fuel management, nor is it direct fuel management. Now, of course, you don't see any holes in here for the oil. You also see these holes here. Now, some of you would say, oh, well, the DFM actuators go there. Well, this motor didn't have them. And the other previous motors that had direct fuel management, you would see this porthole with a raised area where you can put a bolt in it to hold that actuator in place. The 6.6 liters that I have, I could be wrong, but the three that I have are not active fuel management nor, excuse me, direct fuel management controlled. They're just a straight up iron block 6.6 liter engine. It does take the LS7 lifters. I did fit the Gen 4 lifter trays in it to see if they work. And that's your Gen 4 lifter tray out of the LS. As you can see, I did put the crank back in the motor. I also put the stock cam back in the motor because GM gave us those numbers of horsepower and torque at 5,200, maybe 5,300 RPMs, which I'm quite sure it would make more power at 6,500. Another thing that I was thinking, once I put it back together, that I would put a set of headers on it and an aftermarket intake and a good exhaust system because it's going into my 98 Firebird. Now, another thing that I noticed is, like I said in previous videos, is the cooling ports. The cylinder heads for the 6.6 liter, and once I get those back from the machine shop because they're being CNC'd and ported, you will see these same holes on the bottom of that intake. I mean, not the intake, but the cylinder head. The GM cylinder heads for the LT or the L8T, which is the 6.6, have a different part number than the rest of the Gen 5 cylinder heads. Now, I also have an L87. The L87 shares the same rotating assembly. And another thing to add too about the 6.6 is that it is start-stop. It does have an option for start-stop, and it does have two alternators with that option, or just one if you don't have start-stop. The 6.6 takes the same water pump as the L87. As you can see, it's located in the center. Your alternator fits here, the tensioner there. There's also another setup where there's a power steering pump that sits here. And then on the bottom of that power steering pump bracket, there's another provision for the second alternator. And then your AC compressor sits here. Now, the intake for the 6.6 looks like this, but it doesn't have this. This L87 has direct fuel management, meaning it can shut down on 2 cylinders. It can go from an 8-cylinder all the way down to a 2-cylinder. That's like driving around in a 6,500-pound truck with a lawnmower engine in it. There is a physical difference in the new pump back here, the mechanical pump, from the previous. And I don't know exactly what those changes would make it, how they would make a difference, because they both up the same, but the physical appearance of them are different. The L87 is also E85 compatible. Now, there are 2 different motors. You will see the 6.2 liter plus, and then you will see the 6.2 plus plus. Now the 6.2 plus plus is the LT2, and the 6.2 plus plus is also found in some of the trucks, which I'll put it somewhere or either make another video explaining to you what trucks the plus plus 2, which is the difference. It has some of the features inside the motor and the capabilities of like fuel. And just in case you're wondering why the intake is not on it, I took the intake off because the next video I make, I will show you the actuators inside. But I did notice that the L87 port for this year of 2021 and 2020 is slightly larger than the previous truck motor. And the head nut casting number is different. And just in case you're wondering if it's a real L87, just wait for this camera to focus. Come on now. Yeah, she's blurry. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't want to act right. Yeah, maybe let's see if we can give it some light. Come on, baby, focus. Ah, you see it is blurry. L87. You see the number. Anyway. But that's basically what info I have right now for you until I take this one apart and put that one back together. But it's not. So take a look at it. Now, what I suggest some of you do is, just in case you don't want to wait for these motors to become available, I've seen one on eBay for $6,500. And you can also get this block from GM Performance Parts. Now, all of the LT4 and LT5 complete rotating assembly will fit in this motor as well. And you can have yourself a very strong 6.2 liter. Or you can source the crank, because you can buy the 6.6 rotating assembly and the block through GM Performance Parts. Now, to me, it kind of makes me wonder, why did GM bring back the 6.6 liter? Because we all know that the 6.6 was in the Pontiac Trans Am. Wishful thinking, but it would be nice, since they're going to do away with the gasoline engine in the next, maybe 6-7 years, maybe 10. Thanks to this new administration, they don't like what we like, good old gasoline horsepower. And of course, that's another topic, this greenhouse effect crap. But in all, you still can't find a better way to dispose of the electronic batteries and the electrical batteries in these electric cars, which is way more hazardous than this gasoline engine. So anyway, before I go off on a political rant, just stay tuned for more information about this motor. And I'm in my junky garage that I'm in the process of redoing. And I got stuff scattered everywhere. But this is where I take things apart, and then I go to the shop and make things happen when I swap them into people cars. So I will start making a lot more videos of, car builds and whatever has to do with turning a wrench or hot welding metal. But y'all stay tuned. Thanks for watching. That's all I have for you right now.